In the news this week, major police investigation into sexual abuse of children in WA.
Also more tough measures from government as state budget looms closer.
New highway patrol units to increase safety on country roads this Easter.
Plus Fremantle buzzing as Arts Festival hits the streets.
This is the Evening News with Ivan Lung and Danielle Staniskov.
Good evening. A new task force has been assembled for the latest major police investigation. During 2011 and 2016, it is alleged that 5 children were the victims of sexual assault. There are a dozen suspects in this investigation, and police are seeking anyone with information to come forward. Taylor Hanna has more.
An ongoing police investigation undertaken by Taskforce Mirzam is investigating the sexual abuse of 5 children, with most of the victims being under the age of 10 at the time. It is alleged that the youngest 8-year-old victim was sexually abused by her mother, stepdad and a male friend after a video was found showing the illicit sexual acts. Police are also alleging that the girl and 2 other victims were administered prohibited drugs before they were sexually abused.
You know, this is a very serious offence. No one, absolutely no one in our community should be turning a blind eye when they know that children are being sexually assaulted, and particularly when parents are involved.
Police Superintendent Sharon Leonhard is appealing for information from people who engage in these sexual parties and may have been unknowingly exposed to activities with these children.
Swinging between consenting adults is not a crime, but clearly the sexual abuse of children most certainly is. And I urge anyone with any information to contact Crime Stoppers.
Investigators are trying to identify additional suspects pictured in the recordings or anyone who may have viewed or shared them online. Police expect that there will be further arrests and more charges made. Taylor Hanna, WAMN News.
The state government is warning West Australians to brace for more tough measures in this year's budget as it continues its efforts towards a surplus. It says it will continue to make needed savings in a workmanlike plan, but experts claim people are concerned not enough is being done to fix the budget. Nelson Liu reports.
It's been a hard budget year for WA, and it's set to continue.
This year's budget will be a workmanlike budget.
The government plans to keep spending low through more tough measures at the next budget to cut its debt and deficit in coming years.
It's all about the hard work of keeping expense growth low, and that's what it's going to be about.
However, it won't promise there won't be tax hikes, spending cuts or backflips to savings plans.
If you need to recalibrate, do it. Get on with it, make that decision. We've proven to be a government that we're not obstinate or stubborn.
The state government says tough measures are what's needed for a surplus, and experts believe it will continue to be a hard sell to the public.
Unless they can show real progress on that, I think people are going to start wondering whether they can do anything.
It's led to doubts about the possibility of a budget surplus.
There's very little chance that we're going to see the budget in surplus in the time of this government.
And experts believe increasing revenue and cutting spending is what's left to save the budget.
There's not a lot of other things that they can do.
Nelson Liu, WAMN News.
The police is boosting its regional road safety efforts over Easter with the new highway patrol unit on country roads. 25 police officers will be recruited for the specialist traffic squad, which will be deployed to country highways, targeting unsafe driving behaviour and addressing high country road tolls. Road Safety Minister Michelle Roberts says it's designed to address the disproportionately high road tolls in regional WA.
Aboriginal businesses have showcased their goods and services in an expo at Optus Stadium. 64 businesses at the Aboriginal Business Expo presented Indigenous produced goods and services to government buyers, while building and strengthening relationships. A new policy has been introduced requiring government departments to award 1% of contracts to Aboriginal businesses from July.
Procurement process in government is complicated, it's often hard to navigate, and many Aboriginal businesses are small businesses who don't have the time or capacity sometimes to navigate that. So this is requiring agencies, all government agencies and utilities, to ensure that they also go to the effort of engaging Aboriginal businesses.
Australian Taxpayers Alliance has criticised the state government after a handout of $750,000 worth of taxpayers' money for the expansion of only 4 businesses. These businesses already received $2.58 million in private investment, with this handout being called a waste of taxpayers' money. 2 years ago, the WA potato industry received $14 million in taxpayer funds following deregulation of the industry.
No other businesses get to get free money basically from the government, and it is the taxpayers that will be funding all of this, and the businesses will improve as a result of this, but the taxpayers won't see any dividends come back to them whatsoever.
Former French President Nicolas Sarkozy has been asked to stand trial for alleged corruption and peddling influence. If the trial goes ahead, it will be the second time the former president facing arrest over alleged illegal election campaign funding back in 2012. However, Mr. Sarkozy maintained that he was innocent and claimed the cases against him were politically motivated. Violence have escalated between Israel and Palestine in the Gaza Strip, despite emergency talks were underway at the United Nations Security Council during the period. At least 16 Palestinians were killed, with more than 1,400 people injured during the deadly clash. The United Nations Secretary General has called for an investigation.
And finally this week, 4 days of festivities will have real buzzing this Easter long weekend, with the Fremantle International Arts Festival back and bigger than ever. It's the 20th year of the festival, with more than 150,000 people attended during the holiday season. There is something for everyone, with more than 80 performances for this unique festival.
It's the 20th anniversary of what started out as the Buskers Festival in Freo, and now it's kind of growing to be one of the biggest international street arts festivals around.
It resonates with the general public. There's kind of something for everybody, and of course it's free, so it's really easy to come on down and just get involved with it.
And that's our weekly news and current affairs. You can follow the latest news on our website and Facebook.
From Danielle, myself and rest of the team, until 8 o'clock next Sunday, a very good evening to you.
Good night.